there may be cover up. Yes. Well, Lauren, yes. Congratulations. Yay, Lauren. I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm saying nice things about Lauren Boebert. What's going on?
The thing I thought today, we have this, there's a weird sort of TikTok here, right? Because there's criminal freshman Boebert, and there's this thing with the discharge petition, which is the name, you can pull your name off until there's 218, at which point it's gone, right? So Grahala's going to get sworn in Florida. There's like this window where you could maybe get one of their full right? And that's why they have her meeting in the Situation Room.
The Situation Room.
About Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, about Jeffrey Epstein with the head of Department of Justice number 2, maybe kind of tell. And the thing I thought, Patrick, was it would be worse for them scandal-wise if they succeeded in it. Can you imagine if at 3:59 Boebert says, I'm off the petition.
Oh, my God.
And now they're going to sign in Grahala.
That would have blown up on them. But I want to go back to your point, Chris, before about when the Republicans finally pull away from Donald Trump. I think we're getting to that breaking point. With all due respect to all my friends. Deepest respect to all of my friends in politics, all of them believe in what? Self-survival, self-preservation. Yeah. The closer we get to November of 2026, I think we'll see more Marjorie Taylor Greenes out there who are pulling back from the brink because their names will be on the ballot, and that's going to matter more to them than anything.
The interesting thing to think, is that Marjorie Taylor Greene saw the opportunity for a little bit of distance on this issue, and hasn't stopped at that issue. That is something to sort of think about politically.
Got ahead of it, too.
The permission structure has widened.
That's exactly right. George Conway, Patrick Gaspard, great to have you both here. Thank you.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Skyrizi, feel symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 3 years.
Don't use allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight that may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Skyrizi.
In a healthy gut garden, balance is key. Benefiber's plant-based prebiotic fiber gently nourishes the gut, working with your body to help you flourish.
And hey, what's up?
Grow it feels good with Benefiber. And for 6 grams of fiber with triple skin support, try new Benefiber Superfruits.
You got a Pepto predicament, Ace. You overdid it on the loaded fries. Undo it with Pepto-Bismol. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
When investing leads to questions, JP Morgan Wealth Management has powerful tools, research from expert analysts, and a single view of your banking and investing accounts right in the Chase mobile app. When you want to take control of your financial future, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
When you've got a classic ride, you need tools you trust. Whether you drive it every day or only take it out on the biggest night of the year, count on Harbor Freight. Early Black Friday is here.
Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds. Whoa. I'll go get us tickets.
Only pay for what you
need. That's such a question,
It matters that there's someone who knows you and knows what you need.
It matters that we'll work around the most important schedules. Yours. It matters when you could use a little encouragement. Don't be scared, okay? It may be a cool sticker.
Getting your flu shot matters. And getting it at CVS matters too.
Ain't son of us.
Try Gain Scent of Oz in stores now.
Dry eye relief isn't just a feeling. It's a science. TheraTears has oxylites, a unique blend of the 5 vital electrolytes found in natural tears, all working together to support hydration.
What the fuck, dude? I just fucking did this 3 times, dude.
Give your eyes a burst of long-lasting relief with TheraTears Dry Eye Therapy. Science-backed hydration.
AI can turn your lights on.
Lights on.
And drive your car. And even write your kid's essay. But AI ain't gonna fix your broken water line or pay for the big repair bill.
Having a plan from HomeServe offers real solutions, and when a covered system breaks, we'll send a qualified contractor and pay for the repair. There's nothing artificial about the peace of mind you get with a plan from HomeServe. Getting one is quite intelligent.
Plans from HomeServe start at just $4.99 a month.
Call 1-833-812-1903 or visit homeserve.com.
Hey guys, Viagra is not your only option. Rose Sparks act fast and stay active longer. They aren't pills. Sparks dissolve under your tongue to reach your bloodstream for speedy results. Sildenafil starts things off strong, and Tadalafil stays in your system for longer. More confidence, more control. Rose Sparks. Connect with a provider at ro.co/sparks.
Rated PG in theaters November 21st.
How does the crypto industry see their influence over Trump? Has your organization actually paid for anything at this point? That is what media does. They hold power to account.
That is all in on a head-spinning Wednesday night. The briefing with Jen Psaki starts right now. Good evening, Jen.
Chris, I feel like this is one of those days where there are so many pieces of information. There's just a lot more we're going to learn. I mean, we could learn more in the next hour. We will learn a lot more tomorrow. It's rare that this happens, where there are this many pages.
Yes, particularly when there's 28,000 emails and they got released at a certain point, and people are kind of combing through them and picking out nuggets now, and you're seeing, what's this a reference to? And it's also hard because the way Epstein writes is so weird, and the punctuation's strange, and the context is weird, so you're kind of like constantly trying to figure out what am I looking at right here?
That's true, and I feel like there's journalists everywhere combing through these and looking for more context. Congressman Garcia, the ranking member on the Oversight Committee, is going to be here momentarily. And one of the questions we were talking about, asking him about, is have they even come through this, right? They weren't anticipating all of this being released today. So it just feels like there's more and more and more we're going to learn. But this does give us quite a taste, shall we say.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, as we just talked about, it is a huge, enormous news night. The House just passed a bill, of course, to reopen the government and the shutdown.
Yeah, start the game in a minute.
We also have a huge developing story that I think is shaping up to be the greatest political scandal of our lifetime. It very well could be. All stemming from Donald Trump's relationship with his favorite administration. And we have a really possible guest on this topic. People who are right in the center of this. Congressman Robert Garcia, the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, I just mentioned this to Chris, who blew this whole story wide open, will join me here in just a second to talk about all of this. And here tonight is also newly sworn in Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva, who just became pivotal 200-page signature to force a vote on the release of the Epstein files on the House floor. One of her guests for that swearing in that just happened earlier this afternoon was Epstein survivor and advocate Jeff Michaels, who has been tirelessly calling for the release of the Epstein files. She's also going to join me to talk about what we've just learned today, which was a lot, and what she wants to see happen next, because that's such an important part of this conversation and story right now. So I'm going to say it again. This really is shaping up that it could be the greatest political scandal of our lifetime. And the reason I know that, in part, is because of the relentless pressure campaign the Trump White House waged today to stop more information from coming out. It is quite telling. First of all, let's remember this is the same president who regularly admits he knows nothing about whatever issue is embroiling his administration at any given time. And this is the same president who spent the last few weeks refusing to lift a finger at all in the negotiations to end the government shutdown, something most presidents are deeply involved in. He did make some time, though, to get some shut-eye during the public event in New York. But when it comes to the release of the Epstein files, it seems to be all hands on deck over at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The guy who's been very disengaged as of late has had a Diet Coke or 10, and he is ready to go out there and basically protect himself, it seems. This morning the White House went to great lengths to pressure Republican members of Congress who had signed on to the effort to release the Epstein files. According to multiple outlets, Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel, quite a pair, even held a meeting in the Situation Room with Republican Congressman Lauren Boebert, who is one of the Republicans who supported releasing the files, supported the discharge petition. Now, just as a side note, meetings with members of Congress about anything but classified national security information or kind of a foreign trip are rarely, if ever, held inside the Situation Room. The dramatic backdrop here was maybe the point. Now, but despite the effort to make this all feel, I guess, like voting for the discharge petition was some sort of national security issue threatening the Trump administration, it didn't work. The Trump administration was not able to convince any of the Republicans they tried to pressure with their campaign to defect before Adalisa Grajava became the 218th signature on the petition to vote on releasing the Epstein files. And what that means is this. That means that the House is now on track to vote on releasing the full Epstein files, and Speaker Mike Johnson also said this evening actually, that the vote could take place next week. And given the effort Trump has already expended, though, to keep these files from getting out, given how engaged and otherwise barely disengaged president seems to be in preventing even the discharge petition from moving forward in the House, begs the question, what else is in these files? Because for starters, they're the new emails that call into question this claim.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, that was, in case you couldn't hear over the sound there, that was Donald Trump not too long ago claiming he had no idea that his one-time best friend was a notorious pedophile. No idea at all. Of course, even back then, his denial was pretty hard to believe. But now, we have the receipts. As Epstein said of Trump in 2019, quote, "Of course he knew about the girls. Of course he knew." That's just one of the emails in a massive trove of 23,000 documents that came from the Epstein estate and released today by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. And while MSNBC has not independently confirmed the authenticity of those emails or the allegations, several of them suggest that Trump may have known a whole lot more than he let on, like a whole lot. For instance, in another email from 2019, Epstein talked about the prior investigation and charges against him before saying, redacted name, worked at Mar-a-Lago. Trump knew of it and came to my house many times during that period. The testimony of the houseman, John Alessi, confirmed it. He never got a massage. Now, putting aside whether or not Trump got a massage himself, the suggestion that Trump knew of it certainly raises a whole lot of questions. Then there's a 2011 email from Epstein to his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, in which Epstein writes, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim's name is redacted here, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned." Ghislaine Maxwell replies, "I've been thinking about that." Now, despite it sounding a whole lot like a Sherlock Holmes reference, we don't know exactly what Trump being the dog that hasn't barked means, but it also references a victim spending hours at Epstein's house with him. And so have the numerous other emails giving us new insight into Epstein's thinking about Trump. There's a 2018 conversation about the hush money paid to Stormy Daniels on Trump's behalf, in which Epstein said, quote, "I know how dirty Donald is." That's quite a statement. Then there's this meme, shared with Epstein by his brother in 2016 with the caption, "Would you trust this man with your daughter?" There's also an email suggesting that Epstein may have still been in contact with Trump even after Trump was elected in 2016. Just a week after that election, Epstein is asked where he is, and he replies, "Trump Tower." Then there's some exchanges that in a trove of very creepy emails stand out as being particularly creepy and gross. Like a 2015 email in which Epstein references, quote, "My 20-year-old girlfriend in 93 that after 2 years I gave to Donald." Gave. What does gave mean? In that same exchange, he also says, "Would you like to see photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen?" Now, I should be clear, this is a huge and enormous trove of emails, and understandably, some are vague, some are kind of cryptic, and many are lacking full context and detail. So, it's going to take time for committee members and their teams and journalists and people out there to sort through them and make complete sense of all of this. course, Donald Trump has long denied any wrongdoing in connection with Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, but it has never been more clear, and this was my takeaway from today, than it is today, why Trump may not want these files to be released. Listen to all the ones I just read you. That's just a sample of them. And these are also just the latest details we are getting from the Epstein estate, which has already turned over the infamous birthday book and other records. Every new revelation in this story seems more damning than the last. So where does this go next? And just what exactly is the Trump White House still trying to keep from coming out? Joining us now is California Congressman Robert Garcia, the ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, and the guy who blew this whole story wide open. What a day, and there is so much to dig into here. I just highlighted released by the committee today. I know there was a lot released. Is there anything that I missed there? Anything you really want to highlight that's important for people to understand here?
But I think you obviously referenced some really important information and some of the emails and communications that we thought were also important, and those that really raised additional questions. The reality is that we received this batch of emails from the Epstein estate just a few days ago, as did the Republicans on the same day. We knew that Republicans would not want to release these emails. And so we again use our lawyers, redacted names, and we put some of these emails out regardless, because the public have a right to know what the connections are between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. I think Donald Trump being mentioned with Jeffrey Epstein talking about spending hours with one of the victims, or Donald Trump being again mentioned in another email by Jeffrey Epstein about knowing about the girls. I mean, these are, I think, serious questions. And I think for us, it builds on our case, and we have to once again go back to the key question in all of this, is what is the White House hiding? Why this White House cover-up? There's no question by Donald Trump's actions today that he's become obsessed with hiding the Epstein files. And we're going to work every single day to get them out, release them, and bring justice for the survivors.
It's very clear. It's been clear for some time. But to your point, I mean, seeing these emails and the trove of the ones I just read make very clear why he doesn't want them released to me, and I think to a lot of people watching. I know your staff just got these last week, and you did a lot of work through the lawyers and others to redact where necessary. Have you been able to really, it's a very short period of time, has your team been really able to comb through everything in there to fully understand the context and fully understand all of the pieces in there, or do you even need more time to do that?
We're still going through these emails. I mean, we obviously have been through a significant chunk of them and have pulled out information that we thought was relevant to the case and important. But as you know, now that all the emails are being released, we have the media, we have other organizations, we have folks that are engaged in this case that are now also pulling out new information. So all of us are committed to going through every single document and getting it released to the public. And folks should know that these are emails from the Epstein estate. Mm-hmm. This is not even the Department of Justice. Why has the Department of Justice not essentially released all the files to the Oversight Committee, which we demanded through a subpoena? And the fact that we've had to fight and get these documents from the estate, which we've done, honestly, because Republicans have failed to call for this release, we've had to go to other organizations. That is what I think is really both interesting and concerning, is that we have a situation right now where the White House is now involved in this cover.
This is such an important piece, and I want to get there, and you're so gracious to stay with me for a bit because I have so many questions. Okay, so you released an email today that Jeffrey Epstein sent to Ghislaine Maxwell in 2011. This is one of the ones I referenced, and in the email, Epstein refers to Trump as the dog that hasn't barked. As I said, we know it's kind of Sherlock Holmesy, but we don't exactly know the reference. It says that a victim of Epstein spent hours at Epstein's house with Trump. I think I know the answer to this, but why did you choose that one to highlight as one you released this morning?
Well, I think Donald Trump has denied any knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein and his sex trafficking ring and the pedophilia and the rape and abuse. And I think if you look at his denial, for example, of the birthday note, which he said didn't exist until we released it ourselves and proved it to be true, clearly Donald Trump is lying. Clearly he's hiding something. And for him to spend hours with a victim that is being discussed between Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, I think it's concerning. And this idea that Donald Trump is trying to now kind of rewrite history, that he wasn't aware, that Jeffrey Epstein and him weren't close, when Jeffrey Epstein himself said that they were best friends. We know, I've had a survivor tell me directly that Jeffrey Epstein had a photo of him and Donald Trump on his desk every time she went into that house. These were two men that clearly were close. And the president wants to say that he had no idea what was happening. I think this email leads us in a direction, and all signs point back to the White House.
One of the things that was also striking, Ghislaine Maxwell has been in the news lately too because of reportedly a request for commutation, and she's playing with dogs in a low security prison, which is just completely outrageous. But Epstein told, according to his email, told Maxwell all the way back in 2011 that Trump had spent hours at the house with email. Clearly she knew that. I'm sure there's more email, there's more evidence of that, I would guess. Now, when Trump's former personal attorney, turned deputy attorney general, I should say, Todd Blanche, interviewed Maxwell in July, Maxwell claimed they weren't close and said explicitly she didn't recall ever seeing Trump at Epstein's house. Maybe she never physically saw him there, but that seems, I mean, what do you make of all of that?
Look, I think this completely sheds light on Ghislaine Maxwell and her lies and her mission to get herself a partner in commutation. What she's telling Todd Blanche, I remind the public, was Donald Trump's former personal lawyer.
Like 5 minutes ago.
Right, former personal lawyer who becomes deputy attorney general. Todd Blanche goes to see Ghislaine Maxwell, gives her this incredible move out of her facility to this club-fed facility where she's walking around, animals, access to meetings, apparently having secret meetings with folks that we have no idea who they are.
You should, and if you do, make sure to go down to pregame warm-ups. You get to go down to the ice and get good pictures like this.
Of what he did or who he knew or at the house. And yet, we see in this email, and quite frankly, in this large batch of documents, that it appears she absolutely knew about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's relationship. And so I think that, again, sheds more light on this investigation and points us back to why the White House is covering this up.
No question about it. I have so many more questions. There's more emails to ask you about. There's the 218th vote on the discharge petition. Sit where you are. We'll be right back. We just have a 90-second break.
It looks like an ordinary staircase, but as you age with occasional nerve discomfort that can feel like stabbing or pins and needles in your hands and feet, sometimes stairs can bring worry. As a retired physician, I've seen it in my patients, but I didn't truly understand it until I got older myself. So now, I take Nervive.
Nervive reduces occasional nerve discomfort. It combines neurotropic B vitamins with a clinically studied amount of ALA, which reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days in your hands and feet. Nervive comes from the makers of the world's #1 nerve care brand.
With Nervive, I'm sleeping great, and my days start with less occasional burning in my hands. I'm moving through my house with confidence, and I'm getting around town. Getting older happens. And living with occasional nerve discomfort doesn't have to. Find Nervive like I did, and get your freedom back.
Find Nervive at these retailers near you. Feel confident with Nervive.
Remember when they said you've got your whole life ahead of you? At United Healthcare, we say you still do.
On TikTok already in one day.
You can count on United Healthcare to be there with reliable
Less than one day.
coverage.
Half a day.
We're back with Congressman Robert Garcia, the ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, whose relentless work produced what we learned today about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, which is a lot. I mean, we're going to learn, I think, a lot for the days and weeks to come, even from this trove. So let me ask you about another one of the emails you highlighted today. In another one of these emails, journalist Michael Wolff seemed to suggest to Epstein that he could use information he has against Trump if he wanted to. Michael Wolff is a bit of a character, and in the course of writing kind of multiple tell-all books about Trump, he's made a lot of assertions that we haven't confirmed ourselves, I should say. But Wolff has also publicly claimed to have nearly 100 hours of audio interviews with Epstein. I know you're not done here. Is that information that you're going to ask him for, or even subpoena if needed?
We're going to subpoena whoever we need to subpoena and get whatever information,
including Michael Wolff.
Whatever it takes. Now, we want to obviously cooperate. We want to have a good relationship with Michael Wolff. There's been some communication between our teams. And so we're hopeful that Mr. Wolf will work with us on getting information that is important to the investigation. And we're hopeful that Michael Wolf wants what we want, which is justice for the women and the survivors.
Have you guys, has your team asked him for these audio?
There has definitely been communication between the teams.
Okay, that's a maybe. That's a maybe yes. Let me ask you, I mean, this is again, so much information to go through. Is there more that the state has that we
David Wolf was writing the book.
I think what people need to realize is we only have these documents from the estate because
David Wolf's writing the book about Epstein, a tell-all book. And so something to keep in mind is that while Jeffrey Epstein was murdered, he was doing an autobiography with Epstein, a tell-all book with a lot about Trump when he was killed. So there's a big motive there for having Epstein killed for Donald Trump. Because while Epstein's in prison, he's telling his tell-all book to David Wolf. So there is a bigger, deeper motive to think about.
We want to know the truth there. But there are powerful men right now walking free that have raped girls and that there's no consequences. And it is outrageous that Donald Trump is hiding this, hiding the facts, that the Department of Justice is hiding the facts, and that Mike Johnson and Republicans are complicit in supporting what Donald Trump is doing.
You're talking about the other predators out there, in addition to Trump. I mean, I'm not saying he is. We don't know all the details about that. I just mean in addition to what we've learned about Epstein and others, there's other predators out there.
There are, and we have to remember that Alex Acosta, when he ran his investigation out of Florida, that his line prosecutor and his team told him, we can go after other men. Here they are. Here's the evidence to go after possibly 20 additional co-conspirators. And Alex Acosta looked at the information and said, we're not going to do that.
We're talking about the 20 co-conspirators that the Trump administration has the ability to release information on. So let's talk about a big development. Another big development today was, of course, Adelita Grijalva being sworn in. She's the 218th vote. In addition to that, you had Kevin Kiley, who said before that he is open to supporting the discharge petition. I don't know if you count him as a yes vote or not, or where he counts. Don Bacon also came out today and said he would be for that. Mike Johnson has said this vote will be next week. Help us understand sort of the process from here, and also, do you expect more Republicans to come out?
I do, and I talked to some Republicans that I think are prepared to vote yes. So this is probably coming to a vote next week. I have to commend the Republicans that have the courage. While I may not agree with them on policy, they have the courage to stand up to Donald Trump after immense pressure today to be called to the White House. That phone call directly from the president, and they stood tall. They kept their name for that petition. Now that petition will go to a vote likely next week. I think it will pass with a significant amount of Republicans.
Many more Republicans than we know of now.
Yeah, many more. They are, unless they're...
Dozens?
I think it could be significant. I think it could be significant. And then from there, then this bill then of course goes to the Senate. And the Senate's going to have to make a choice and be on record if they believe in transparency, if they're going to support survivors of rape and trafficking, or if they're going to hide this cover-up that Donald Trump is leading at the White House.
And this is an important piece, because of all the work that's happened in the House, there's nothing that requires Senate Majority Leader Tom Thune to put this up for a vote in the Senate. He would have to actually put this up to do that. Have you been in touch with Senate Democrats about that pressure and what happens from here?
I have had some conversations with Senate Democrats. And I think what people need to remember is that there's two subpoena tracks. The committee, the oversight Democrats, we have a subpoena in place, and we need those files to come to our committee. We're going to get those files regardless. They have to produce those. And then there's this additional subpoena that will go to the whole Congress and to the public and put everybody on record. Both are important, and we think today we made immense progress in both those tracks.
Congressman Robert Garcia, we've covered a lot of ground there, but I feel like we're going to be learning more and more and more about this. Thank you for your tireless work and also for being here and helping us kind of make sense of all this information we're going through tonight. All right, up next, she won a special election to Congress. We just talked about her 50 days ago. But speaker.
What we learned today about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, which is a lot. And we're going to learn, I think, a lot for the days and weeks to come, even from this trial. So I want to ask you about another one of the emails you highlighted today. And another one of the emails, journalist Michael Wolff seemed to suggest to Epstein that he could use information he has against Trump if he wanted to. Michael Wolff is a bit of a character. And in the course of writing kind of multiple tell-all books about Trump, he's
hell's going on? I do want to hear Adelita, man, because she, Adelita Grolhova, she just got sworn in. I'd kind of like to hear what, I don't think, there's probably not much more. It's probably, you're probably safe not watching until O'Donnell. But, she's got an interview with her, so, I mean, this is the interview that everyone wants. But I don't think there's much. I'll tell you why, because they're swearing in on Monday, I already know. And the questions are just like, what was the swearing in like? What was one Mike Johnson? What did Mike Johnson say? News. But at the same time, I could film it for other people. I basically feel like I already know everything she's going to say, but it's because I watch it extremely closely.
God damn it! Stay out of there!
Barely got him. See that?
Whoa. All right?
Define all right.
Alive, for a start.
Yeah, life's good.
Yeah. The hell are you doing here anyway?
I was gonna warn you about the Wendigos.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
Let's find a way down to where this fucker lives.
No, I can't. I don't know if this is on TikTok here, so you'll make sure it's on TikTok.
Was finally allowed to take the oath of office in the well of the House today. And during those remarks, she said she had a lot of things that were very passionate. She also called out the man who refused to swear in, House Speaker Mike Johnson.
I wonder how much these sessions are of
This
any
is
help
an
to you
abuse
now.
of power.
Just
One
listen to
individual should not be able to unilaterally obstruct the swearing in of a duly elected member of Congress for political reasons. It's past time for Congress to restore its role as a check and balance on this administration and fight for we, the American people. That's what the American people expect us to do. Fight for them. That is why I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files. She then did exactly what she just said. She signed the discharge petition, and that now forces the House to vote to direct the Justice Department to release the Epstein files. Speaker Mike Johnson said tonight that the vote will happen next week. Joining us now is Congresswoman, even though I called her that the last time she was on, just because Adelita Grolhova, a Democrat, finally representing Arizona's 7th congressional district. Well, first of all, congratulations. This is strange circumstances, but it is a moment to celebrate. You worked very hard to get here. Let me start by asking you, after he refused to swear you in for 50 days, today was kind of the day where you stood side by side with Speaker Mike Johnson. You were a professional, but what was that like? And was it any different from what you thought it would be? he said this was nothing personal. I said it sure did feel personal when you were making comments directed specifically to me. And let's just clear it up. I was not able to do my job. And if you ever want to know why, I'll tell you the blow-by-blow details. But now, today, is the first day that we can actually go and lease office space and open up constituent services. And that is what I was elected to do. And so I'm very excited about that. It was a full range of emotions today. And honestly, I feel very glad that I was able to get out publicly everything that many people have been toiling around, including myself, about the situation that we've been put in for the last 50 days.
I watched your whole set of remarks. I think a lot of people did. You were feeling all the things. You had a moment about your dad, which was very sweet. You talked about your district. You also talked about, I know releasing the Epstein files wasn't your signature issue you ran on, but you did talk about that. And you talked about the importance of one man, as I just played, not being able to prevent someone from being sworn in. Why did you decide that was important to say when you were on the House floor?
I think it's so much about what is going on with this administration, and the obstruction of me getting sworn in has highlighted the corruption, has highlighted the cover-ups, have highlighted the cracks. And what we need to do as American people, as elected people in these positions, is call it out as often as we can. And what people want to see me doing specifically, and really Democrats in general, is fight for us. Don't just fight. Don't just throw mud for nothing. Stand up and do something for working people. And that's where I feel Democrats have been moving in the right directions. We saw some amazing wins with really progressive members that are speaking that specific truth. Like, how are we helping people?
You are going to do lots of things and talk about a lot of issues for your district, I know. It's possible, and you've talked about this, you've really been the most public victim of this, that Republicans could deny swearing in members in the future.
What if her take on the revived effort to release the Epstein files? We'll be right back.
Even on an antidepressant, I was masking my depression. I felt I was missing out on the moments around me. So, my doctor prescribed Rexulti.
When added to an antidepressant, Rexulti was proven to significantly reduce depression symptoms, more than an antidepressant alone.
Said Rexulti could provide a boost. For me, less depression meant enjoying the little things.
Elderly people with dementia-related psychosis have increased risk of death or stroke. Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and actions, and worsen depression in children and young adults. Call your healthcare provider right away to report new or sudden changes in mood, behavior, thoughts, or feelings, or if you develop suicidal thoughts or actions. Report fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, which can be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar can lead to coma or death. Weight gain, increased cholesterol, unusual urges, dizziness on standing, falls, seizures, trouble swallowing.
That's funny. I know, it is funny. Alexa, turn up 2 notches.
Juju will definitely do it.
You missed us yesterday. I was dressed up as you.
Oh, you were? Yo, Juju, listen.
Say what?
We're doing losing team. Gotta do a yoga stretch for 10 seconds. Or whatever we say you want to do.
I literally, just cannot move in any certain way right now.
There won't be anything crazy.
What? 2 out of 3, 1 and done, what?
Small.
Whoa. No. That's just so unfair.
Why?
That's so unfair.
Bro, we lost. We literally lost to like 2K. I swear.
There's no shot.
Oh, yeah.
We should do whatever, the yoga stretch, and then the guys do something like put on lipstick.
Oh, yeah, because we have lipstick sitting around the crib.
I don't know, you can get marker or something. Hey, let's go in here. Everybody double tap the screen.
Double tap.
First get triples, guys. Dang it, man. Hello. First get the strips, guys. First get the strips.
I love how you're clocking me losing and giving birth.
Hi, Katrina. Oh, are you guys king of birth?
Yeah, first give chill. No, I was doing the act out battle earlier. Acting on scenarios. Losing team acts out scenarios. It made me give birth.
First get the strips, guys. First get the strips. First get the strips. You guys. Times three. Someone wants to ring them? Oh my gosh. I keep trying to catch them. Really, thank you. I can never catch it. Thank you, man. Katrina, thank you guys. Izzy, welcome back, guys. Everyone's double tapping right here. I was like, what am I doing here?
Double tap?
I cannot lose. I cannot fucking lose.
What does that mean?
Put
Double
him
tap.
in a stretch.
No, put him in a stretch.
Put him in that stretch, boy.
Put him in a stretch.
Double
Dang
tap.
it, man.
You already done got my muscles.
Dang it, man. Katrina, thank you. Yes,
Repost that. Come on, we gotta
that's
change.
most popular votes, guys. Popular votes. Hopefully we
I don't even know what the hell's going on.
Crazy on these trips, y'all.
I'm trying to figure out what's
that you all do. Loving that caring forward.
If you know luxury, it's not just a product, it's proof of it. Safa mattresses supports all kinds of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought
Well,
directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service. Which is why over 90% of customers would recommend Safa to friends and family. Safa, luxury mattresses made in America.
Today, during her first floor speech as a sworn-in member of the House of Representatives, Congresswoman Adeliza Grijalva took the time to recognize 2 survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, sitting in the gallery. Liz Stein and Jessica Michaels were met with a big round of applause, well-deserved. With me still, the Arizona Democratic Congresswoman Adeliza Grijalva, sworn in less than 24 hours ago. I hope the name sounds good to you, as well as Jess Michaels, one of the Epstein survivors who was present in the House gallery and mentioned during Congresswoman Grijalva's first floor speech and has been working tirelessly to help educate the public. I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you so much for staying with me. Let me start with you, Jess. There was just a lot happened today. You were on the House floor when this Congresswoman was sworn in. There was a huge trove of emails released. There was the 218th vote. Tell me about
how you're digesting all of today.
I'm not really digesting at all, actually. I mean, that's part of the, the stress of it all, the excitement of it all, the even small needle move towards justice and being heard and being acknowledged that this should not be delayed anymore. We should be pushing through releasing files. So it was very emotional. It is a moment in time that will last for me for my lifetime. Watching her sign that specifically.
And let me ask you, what was it like having Jess there in the room?
She represents so much strength. I mean, think about having to tell a story of one of the most difficult periods of your life over and over and over again, so people actually hear you, to put a face with the story. It's not just a story, it's like a life that has been forever impacted by somebody who chose to abuse children and women. And so her strength to just stand up, and I was so glad that they both got a standing ovation, because it was that powerful that it's like, and here they are. And I just think it's so important for people to be able to put a face. Like, this is not just a random story. This is a real person who's been impacted forever.
And it's really what it is all about, and I can't underscore how hard it is to do what you do, and to be out there as you are. It's incredibly courageous. Let me ask you just about, I don't even know if you've had time to consume today. There have been a huge trove of emails today that have been released. I don't know what you've consumed. If anything surprises you that you've seen out there reported about Trump's meetings at the House, about, there are a range of things. Anything you've seen that surprised you today?
Nothing surprised me. And I do believe the most important thing that all of us as survivors are really trying to get across is that it is so much bigger than Donald Trump, and that everyone keeps their eye on that.
Just saying that.
As opposed to just narrowing it down to one person, because that's where we failed in the past. It was just Ghislaine Maxwell, it was just Jeffrey Epstein, and that's where we lost so much time and where we lost so much justice. So it is bigger than Donald Trump. So the surprises, I think, are still going to come.
This is Congressman Garcia raises the exact same point about just the number of predators who are being covered up right now because of all of this. Let me ask you about just there was a huge effort to prevent more information from coming out from the White House, from Kash Patel, from the Attorney General, and they kept using this phrasing, credibility, like credible information. Only credible information will be put out. It sounds good. It feels to me like a whole lot of gaslighting. What did you make of it?
I thought it was interesting to use the word credible when we have 3 terabytes of information and decades of an investigation, and yet if there was nothing credible, we wouldn't have those things. There was nothing credible to follow. There were no leads. There was nothing egregious happening. There would have been no investigation. There wouldn't be all of this information that's now being dropped off in tens of thousands of emails, and we haven't even seen a fraction of it. So I think it's a moot point.
They also used that term before today, and we saw everything that was released today, which seemed quite credible.
Exactly.
One of the things that we were just talking about this, about how there are some Republicans who came out today and said they would support the discharge petition who hadn't previously done. Don Bacon is one of them, Kevin Kiley maybe. How important do you think it is for a big number, any Republican who supports the idea of transparency in this case, to vote for it next week, sending a message that it's not just 220, but a much bigger number than that?
Well, you're not going to support pedophiles. You're not going to protect pedophiles. You're not going to protect people who continue to assault, victimize, harm.
Jeffrey Epstein survivor speaks
children. And you're just not.
on MSNBC.
I mean, the fact that we're sitting around saying Democrats are pushing for this, it shouldn't be Democrats. All of us should be just, I mean, beyond appalled that anyone would stand in the way of finding out who's responsible and making sure they have justice.
And all of the people who are responsible, and I think this is a key part.
Yeah.
Go ahead, what were you going to just say?
No, you are either protecting pedophiles or children and victims. There's no gray line.
outside the gray line. It doesn't exist. That's such an important way to define it. There's so many different things happening right now. That one to just pay attention to. Congressman Garcia said that there are more files that the estate has that they're working to get a hold of. We'll see when those are released. If they're released, what is in there? There's obviously the district.
All right, so now I want to go like this.
Man, things seems pretty fucked up. So I'm gonna leave you now, Josh. It's time you learn. There's more to be afraid of that can be dreamt up by the unhinged imagination of a self-indulgent, spoiled little brat. You had so many people who cared about you, who were willing to help. But at every turn you choose to push them away, and now you're all alone. Some of the sounds of things won't be alone for long. No, you won't be alone for long. Deep breaths, Josh. Deep breath.
Get away! Get away! Ah! Get away from me! No! You're dead! You're dead! Shut up! No! You're dead! That's not me. Oh, they're gonna it. They're gonna love it. Take it away from me. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do anymore.
That shit's wild, man.
Okay. I trust you.
He's
I trust you.
so now we play it. And this dude crazy, dude. I can't tell if he's the villain or not. Man. This game's wild, man. Until Dawn. Yo, don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe to Sunny Hippies. It's free. It really helps me out. Thanks, appreciate it. Love you. And don't forget to hit that follow on TikTok so we could get it. We could start the rise. You looking like some of the bitches on Meet Me and shit.
No, not again.
But you're with us now. Family.
Get away! Get away from me! Get away!
Why didn't you save us, Josh? Why did you want us to die?
I didn't die. I swear. I swear I tried to find you.
Well, where's that? What the hell kind of crazy shit? some of the girls in the game. It's some of the girls in the game he killed, or like.
Why didn't you save us, Josh?
Yeah.
Why did you want us to die?
It's like real life, like if you didn't like date a girl. Or then she dies, oh my god. Yo, that just happened to me. I went to look for a girl and I saw she had died. We were supposed to go on a date a few years ago. And I was like, oh, let me look her up. She's gone. Just say, man, you know, if you get a window act quick, like Eminem says, you got one shot, one opportunity. Don't not get the chance to blow. Do not blow the chance, you know.
Back in the 50s in the cave-in, which means that thing is 80 years old, at least.
Spunky for an old timer.
They cleaned the place out, killed a lot of people.
I know that actor. I think he's from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that actor, he looks like he's from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think so.
I think we're close to the lair.
How can you tell?
Isn't he?
I don't know, I just...
He switches between good guy and bad. He's good for a long time, and then he turns into a bad guy.
There's no other way through.
And then they have to work together again.
Right, it's okay.
You sure?
I'm not dead yet.
Famous last words.
It's freezing. I feel my fingers.
I know. Just keep moving. Nobody likes cold butts. Although yours are great. Never mind.
Wait a minute, I thought you reached the deepest part.
Oh, I didn't say that. Okay. You like, where are these sharks?
Sharks? Great. Thank you.
Like more places to go in there. I just chose that one.
Shit. This looks like Hannah's writing.
I'm sorry, Beth. I have no choice. It's the only way I can survive anymore. If someone finds this, I'm sorry. I had to. I had no choice.
What does it mean? Jesus.
Simple files on Epstein. Get this all over with. We have this administration.
So what? What does that mean? Did she kill her too? Her own sister?
I don't know.
How the hell could they even stay alive down here?
I don't know, Michael.
There has to be an answer down here.
Mike, just calm down.
Okay. Back into the water. Like you said, plenty of other places to go, it looked like.
Oh, it's getting deeper.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Hey, it's looking up again. We're gonna make it.
God, don't jinx it.
With the Congress, whenever they please, does our level of transparency? No, that does not show your level of so-called transparency at all. I mean, what it shows is that
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Jesus.
The hell? This game is wild, man.
You see that?
Ugh. Game is wild.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be sick. Wait. Hold on. I think I saw something. No, I don't.
In the future, it would not be the first time a denial preceded the action, so don't lean too much into it. Okay, we have time for just one more. Jared Halpern of Fox Radio, I hear you have a non-Epstein related question. Make it quick.
Is the president intending to invite any Democrats over to have negotiations over these subsidies or any other plan to bring down the cost of health insurance?
That's an easy one. Don't hold your breath. We'll be right back.
Steve. John, they say with Lavazza, you'll become a maestro. Yeah, maestro of coffee. So it has nothing to do with music. It does not. Just coffee. Coffee. Shall I go again? Please don't.
Enjoy the pleasure of a masterfully crafted coffee and feel like an Italian barista at home.
Don't do it.
Discover Lavazza blends now.
I need that one. That is my G flat.
Rough, dry-eyed? Mibo is the only prescription dry eye drop that forms a protective layer for the #1 cause. Remove contact lenses before using Mibo. Wait at least 30 minutes before
That
putting them
was
back
pretty
in.
cool.
Eye redness and blurred vision may occur. Ask about Mibo.
You're inside a secret prison that houses the Nazi high command. I will have my day in court. I know about this man. You're walking into a trap. I'm going to make sure tell the world what he did. Welcome to Nuremberg. Rated PG-13, now playing in theaters. When they separated families, we took them to court and won. When they limited access to essential health care, we fought the bans and won. And now they're determined to reverse more of our hard-won rights and freedoms. But if they try to take away our rights, they've got to get past us. We are the American Civil Liberties Union, and we will fight any attempts to roll back our rights in the courts, in state legislatures, and in the streets. Because our freedom is worth fighting for.
When you're surrounded by oppressive laws, you can't just sit back and be oppressed. You get up and fight. And all of us at the ACLU are fighting for you.
Right now, the ACLU's work is more important than ever. So please, call or go online to myaclu.org today. All it takes is just $19 a month, only 63 cents a day, to become a guardian of liberty and help defend our freedom. Years of hard-fought protections for freedom of speech, protest, dissent, LGBTQ rights, and abortion rights are under attack.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, dude.
The ACLU is fighting in the courts and advocating in all 50 states to ensure that all of us can exercise our rights. But we need your support now. So please, call the ACLU or go to myaclu.org and join us for just $19 a month. And when you use your credit card, you'll receive this special We the People t-shirt and more to show you're helping protect the rights of all people.
As an individual, donating to the ACLU is one of the most powerful things you can do to fight for justice.
Together, we are a force to be reckoned with. So please, join us today. Call now or go online to myaclu.org. They've got to get past us, all of us.
Age-related memory decline? Meet new Cunol Brain Health, the first and only tablet to combine 2 high and more. Trust Cunol for more comprehensive brain health support.
You know what's all good? Zero heartburn. That's why I take Prilosec OTC. Just one pill a day blocks heartburn before it starts. Prilosec OTC. One pill, zero heartburn. All good.
When investing leads to questions, JP Morgan Wealth Management has powerful tools, research from expert analysts, and a single view of your banking and investing accounts right in the Chase mobile app. When you want to take control of your financial future, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
I think if someone sat around our show and rolled through the breaks, we don't say anything different to our guests than we say to our viewers. And if we've had a conversation in the break because of this cheated viewer,
Sure. It is
then we go back and tell the audience what we talked about in the break. Okay, one more thing to tell you, the latest episode of my podcast, The Blueprint, is available right now. I had a great conversation with Democratic Florida Congressman Maxwell Alejandro Frost. And now it's time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell, which starts right now. Hey, Lawrence.
Hey, John, we have to be ready for a really, really big and crazy news day tomorrow.
No kidding.
Because Donald Trump is going to want to change the subject as only he can using the powers of the presidency. So if you're a small country who Donald Trump has threatened to invade, tomorrow could be the day, because he needs to get this subject changed away from those Jeffrey Epstein emails about him.
That is such a good warning. No one likes playing Battleship like a little boy more than that man. And that is a good warning to people out there to get a good night's sleep, I guess.
Yeah, I really think tomorrow night's going to be a bigger news night than tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to go home and get sleep now after I listen to your A block.
You better. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Thank you. If you're in a mood to thank someone, thank Amy Schuster. That is what I would have told our first guest tonight before he tweeted this at 9:56 a.m. The only reason these emails are out is Lawrence had the survivors' lawyers on who gave me the tip to subpoena the estate. Why did Justice or the FBI not get and release these? Carson Rocano was booked on this program on July 23rd of this year. He followed that night an appearance by attorney Brad Edwards, who revealed in our discussion that the way for Congress to obtain a massive trove of information about Jeffrey Epstein would be to subpoena Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Brad Edwards said that he knows the attorneys handling the Epstein estate, and he is sure that they would immediately comply with such a subpoena, and he was right. Brad Edwards was booked on this program that night by Amy Schuster, whose job is to find us the best lineup of guests possible for this program, and she does it every night without ever checking with me. I usually have no input on the guests. The words I say here are mine. What you hear from me on this program comes from me. I write the scripts, but that's just one piece of a program like this. Melissa Ryerson, for the last several years, has been deciding what the shape of this program should be. She has a much better command of the news landscape than I do every day, and she suggests what we should be covering, and she's always right. And only then do I apply my thinking to what we're going to present to you tonight, and eventually my writing of what we will present to you tonight. But having Brad Edwards, who is an attorney for hundreds of the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, join us on this program that night was Amy Schuster's idea, and telling us about sending a subpoena to the Epstein estate was Brad Edwards' idea, announced right here on this program. I didn't think that up. I never would have thought of that. And so, yes, Congress issued the subpoena that produced these emails because Brad Edwards suggested that they do that on this program, and Carson Rocano, who was the next guest on this program that night, immediately said on television that night that he would take up that suggestion. And then he helped lead the charge for the subpoena issued by the House, a Republican-controlled House. A Democratic member of the House of Representatives who gets the idea of issuing a subpoena to the Epstein estate on this program and then brings that idea into a Republican House of Representatives and prevails and manages to persuade a House of Representatives controlled by Donald Trump's loyalists to do something that has the potential to not just crush Donald Trump as a politician, but depending on what else might be revealed in the Epstein files and as a result of this subpoena, maybe Donald Trump's presidency could come to an end. Maybe Donald Trump could become the second president to resign the presidency, the second Republican president to resign the presidency.
How bad can this get for Donald Trump? We have no idea, but he does. Donald Trump knows exactly how bad it can get because he knows everything about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. He knows everything that is or might be in the Epstein files or in the possession of the Epstein estate that could be damaging to him. He knows. And we see the way he's behaving about this. This might be the worst of it. What we've discovered in Jeffrey Epstein's emails today might just be the worst of it. And if it is, then Donald Trump can probably survive this. But Donald Trump himself is making an all-out effort to stop the release of the Epstein files after these emails were released today. Donald Trump has made the judgment that what remains hidden in the Epstein files must never be seen by anyone. And that is why he had Congresswoman Lauren Boebert in the White House today, hoping she would be convinced to take her name off of the discharge petition, which she had already signed in the House of Representatives. She did not bend to that pressure. The discharge petition has been officially filed after getting its 218th signature today, when the newest member of the House of Representatives, Adelita Grijalva, in her first act as a member of the House, became the most important member of the House today, when she provided the 218th signature for that discharge petition, which will come to a vote possibly next week in the House of Representatives, that would force the release of the Epstein files. J.D. Vance is doing exactly what Gerald Ford did while the Nixon presidency was sinking and Richard Nixon was under increasing pressure over several months that led to his resignation. Gerald Ford said nothing. When things were the darkest for President Richard Nixon, Vice President Gerald Ford said nothing. And when Richard Nixon resigned the presidency, Vice President Ford said, "Our long national nightmare is over." Tonight, J.D. Vance is silent. Tonight, J.D. Vance is Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford said nothing about Richard Nixon as Nixon sank deeper into scandal, as Nixon, on his way to impeachment, which he only avoided by resigning the presidency, Gerald Ford said nothing because Gerald Ford knew that when he eventually took over the presidency, he didn't want the stain of Nixon on him. And so J.D. Vance is silent tonight. But what is J.D. Vance supposed to say tonight when he reads an email written by Jeffrey Epstein during the Trump presidency in 2019, 6 months before Jeffrey Epstein's second arrest, saying, quote, "Of course he knew about the girls," meaning Donald Trump. Donald Trump has always denied any involvement in or knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking and raping of children. And the Washington Post is reporting that one of Jeffrey Epstein's emails says Donald Trump never got a massage. Donald Trump wasn't involved, according to this email. The email written by Jeffrey Epstein says, "Trump knew of it and came to my house many times during that period." Epstein wrote in an email to himself on February 1st, 2019, the Washington Post is reporting, several months before he was arrested for trafficking charges and killed himself in jail. He never got a massage. So there's Jeffrey Epstein himself letting Donald Trump off the hook on that point.
I think he was about to get killed, so
he never knew anything.
he was trying to
That
say, "Hey, look, I'll cover for you. Don't kill you." I think he knew Trump was going to have him killed, so he.
What is J.D. Vance or Donald Trump or any Trump defender supposed to say?
He sent that email to himself,
when they
man,
read an email
to try
from
to
Jeffrey Epstein after the first criminal
prevent his
investigation
own
of
death.
Jeffrey Epstein in Florida, which led
Say,
to
"Hey, look,
Jeffrey
man,
Epstein
I'll cover for
pleading guilty.
you."
And Jeffrey Epstein writes
It's
an
too late,
email
though.
to his criminal co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell in 2011 saying, quote, "I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump." Jeffrey Epstein says that one of the young girls in the investigation, quote, "spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief."
I mean, you could see they're legit emails. You know, those are their real emails.
Donald Trump spent hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, according to Jeffrey Epstein, in a private communication with his criminal co-conspirator,
whose response to this was, I have been thinking about that. The only way that Ghislaine Maxwell could have been thinking about that is that she knew what Jeffrey Epstein was talking about in every word of that email. That means she knew what it means that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Ghislaine Maxwell was not asked a single question about that email by Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyer, who now serves as Donald Trump's Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, who went to Florida to do a so-called interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. Justice Department could have had that email and hundreds of other emails that we haven't seen yet that would be very specific about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, that would have been legitimate and serious points of questioning for Ghislaine Maxwell, who's never, ever answered questions to any federal prosecutor or in her federal criminal trial about any of this before Donald Trump's former criminal defense lawyer went down to Florida and threw softballs at her and believed her when she was clearly lying to him. The Justice Department may have had all of these emails for many years. Very likely that they did. You saw how easily the Epstein estate handed them over to Congress. The inept White House press secretary, whether intentionally or not, revealed that the interview the Trump team had with Congresswoman Boebert today to try to change her mind was held in the Situation Room. That is the room in the White House reserved for the most secret communications, including verbal communications, that can occur in government. Imagine the panic in that room this morning when they were trying to convince a Republican member of the House to change her mind and take her name off the discharge petition so that even with one more signature on the petition by the end of the day, it would not be enough. Imagine the pressure on Congresswoman Boebert in that room. Why didn't she succumb to that pressure? Why didn't she take her name off that discharge petition? Why did she leave her name on that discharge
Lawrence O'Donnell
petition to get its final signature so that it could now be in progress toward a vote in the House of Representatives? Why did Lauren Boebert then tweet this at the same time the final signature in the discharge petition was obtained? Quote, I want to thank White House officials for meeting with me today. Together, we remain committed to ensuring transparency for the American people. Trump White House with that tweet at 4:22 p.m. at the same time the final signature was affixed to the discharge petition. It is impossible for the Republican member of the House of Representatives to be more defiant than that. Is Lauren Boebert's defiance of Donald Trump, the Trump White House, and the Trump Justice Department, who were all trying to suppress the Trump Epstein files, an indication of just how weak an argument the Trump team made in the secrecy of the Situation Room on behalf of Donald Trump? They could say anything to her in that room. And whatever they said was so weak that this Republican Congresswoman left the Trump White House and publicly tweeted her defiance at the moment the Democrats obtained the final signature on the discharge petition. Today is a demonstration of Donald Trump's weakness now within his own party about his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein told the journalist Michael Wolff on tape, quote, I was Donald's closest friend for 10 years. And Donald Trump told New York Magazine in 2002, right in the middle of Jeffrey Epstein's career as a sex trafficker and raper of children, quote, I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
What the fuck?
No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. Jeffrey Epstein said about Donald Trump, quote, of course he knew about the girls, end quote. Donald Trump's newest strategy with House Republicans is to call them stupid. In a tweet today, Donald Trump said, quote, only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap, the trap being voting for the release of the Epstein files.
Oh my God.
If you do that in the House next week, when that vote is likely to occur, Donald Trump says you are a very bad or stupid Republican. 4 Republicans have already signed that discharge petition, which is in effect a vote to release the Epstein files. Thomas Massey signed the discharge Taylor Greene signed the discharge petition, which, according to Donald Trump, makes her a very bad or stupid Republican. Nancy Mace signed the discharge petition, which, according to Donald Trump, makes her a very bad or stupid Republican. Lauren Boebert not only signed the discharge petition, but then refused to take her name off the discharge petition after the most intense pressure the White House has ever applied to any.
You know how bad it would look if you take your name off of it?
The Trump White House.
You'll never get a vote again, dude.
That makes Lauren Boebert a very bad or stupid Republican. There is a very bad and stupid Republican at the heart of this story, and his name appears repeatedly in the Epstein files, as it would even if he never did anything wrong. Because when Jeffrey Epstein says you're his closest friend, a federal investigation of Jeffrey Epstein is going to turn up facts like that. And when you say publicly in New York Magazine that you've known Jeff for 15 years and he's a terrific guy, that article itself is going to end up in the federal investigative files. In a federal investigation like that, there will be all sorts of names that will show up in the files. People who've done nothing wrong, people who are neighbors of the person being investigated, people who have nothing to fear by the release of those files. Donald Trump has obviously been living all year in fear of release of the Jeffrey Epstein files, and tonight that fear has to be more intense than ever. The fear that makes him snap and call Republicans very bad and stupid is an informed fear. It is not an irrational fear. It's an informed fear, because Donald Trump knows exactly what his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was. We don't. Donald Trump knows exactly how much direct exposure and familiarity he had with the people Jeffrey Epstein calls the girls in his email. We don't. We don't know that, but Donald Trump does. Donald Trump knows everything about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein that might be in the Epstein files. And knowing everything that Donald Trump himself knows about his relationship to Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump had a choice. He could have said, let it all come out. I have nothing to fear because I know everything about it and I know there's nothing to fear. Or knowing everything Donald Trump knows about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and after having been briefed about what the Epstein files say about him by his Justice Department, Donald Trump seems to have decided the Epstein files must never come out. That's the position he has chosen. And now the dog is barking at the very bad and stupid Republicans who support the release of the Epstein files. After the dog barked at those Republicans and called them bad and stupid at 2:03 p.m. today, 4 hours later, Politico reported senior Republicans privately believe dozens of Republicans will vote for it, possibly 100 or more, according to 5 people granted anonymity to speak candidly. And so the mad, barking dog might be on his way to creating the biggest bipartisan landslide vote against Donald Trump the House of Representatives has ever seen. Tonight, instead of looking at the Epstein files that were created by the Justice Department's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, we are looking at emails about Donald Trump written by Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein's estate after together. We have those emails tonight thanks to a thread of luck that began 112 days ago when Amy Schuster decided that the guest on this program that night should be attorney for Epstein survivors Brad Edwards, along with Congressman Ro Khanna and Andrew Weissman. Andrew Weissman will be joining us tonight, and leading off our coverage of what we have learned today is Congressman Ro Khanna. Joining us now is Congressman Khanna. Congressman, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and please accept my amendment to your tweet this morning about this program and how it all started off here. But this has really been a drama for viewers of this program to watch from the night you stood here on this program and said you were going to act on what you had just learned about the possibility of issuing a subpoena to the Epstein estate, and here we are tonight.
Well, Lawrence, I said that because sometimes in all of the news, you and your team really haven't gotten the credit. But none of those emails would have come out. The emails with Jeffrey Epstein saying that Donald Trump was involved, that Donald Trump likely knew about this abuse. None of that would have come out if I wasn't on your program, if your team had not booked Bradley Edwards, and if Bradley Edwards hadn't made this obvious point saying, why is the Justice Department, why is the FBI not subpoenaing Epstein's estate? It was shocking to me they hadn't done that. And then Bradley Edwards said, look, if you subpoena that estate, I'm confident that they will comply. And your team connected Bradley.
Why is he trying so hard to not release the files?
Arizona Democratic Congresswoman Adelisa Grijalva, sworn in less than 24 hours ago. I hope the name sounds.
Thomas Massey and I were texting back and forth all day. I mean, we've been at this 5 months. We were concerned. I mean, they brought her, as you pointed out, into the Situation Room, where they planned things like the Bin Laden raid. And here they are pressuring Lauren Boebert to get off. They did the same with Nancy Mace. But they held. And you know what? The dam is breaking, Lawrence. I appreciated your analogy to Nixon, because one of the things we saw with Nixon's end was Republicans started to desert him. And you're going to have a situation when Massey and my bill comes to the floor next week, which even the speaker now is saying that it will come. You're going to see 50, 60, maybe even more Republicans vote against him. That is a huge deal, not because of the work Massey and I are doing, because people are sensing the weakness of Donald Trump to be willing to cast that vote against him.
When we read things like Jeffrey Epstein saying that Donald Trump is the dog that hasn't barked, we can all apply our imagined interpretations of what that can mean. But what kind of investigation do you think is necessary to actually get at the meaning of that, especially given that it's an email to Ghislaine Maxwell, who is a living witness who could supply an explanation for what that email means, because her response to Epstein is very clearly, she said, I've been thinking about that, so she knows exactly what it means.
Well, I think we need to investigate and interview Maxwell again, although, of course, her credibility is not very high. But we also know that there are other emails. There are more emails that likely mention Donald Trump, and we need to investigate those and see really two things. I mean, there's a question about what happened with underage girls, but there's also a question of how many people, including Donald Trump, did they know about the abuse, and did they just sit there and not do anything with the abuse? And that is, in my view, equally damning. I mean, who does that if you know someone is raping junior high girls, to just sit there and still be friends with them? And this whole thing is going to come and be exposed, both Donald Trump and what I call the Epstein class. They need to have their day of accountability.
What do you expect to see next week? Is it just the vote on the discharge petition, or will there be any other developments next week?
Well, there'll be the vote on the discharge petition. Of course, the numbers matter, Lawrence. You're more of an expert on the Senate than I am. But the bigger the number in the House, the more likely there is that this gets taken up in the Senate. And I'd like it to get taken up in the Senate, because that's really obviously what will force the release. But it also will send an incredible message in this country of people standing up to Trump. There's also further investigation. We expect more document releases. And then we have a press conference on Tuesday. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey and I, Bradley Edwards, and the survivors. And they're getting some of the survivors who haven't told their story before. And they're going to talk about what really is in these files and what they want to see in terms of justice.
Congressman Ro Khanna, thank you very much for joining us once again tonight on this important story.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you. And right now, Donald Trump is signing a bill that ends the government shutdown. We're keeping an eye on that. But coming up, Andrew Weissman will join us, as he joined us 112 days ago when we first heard the idea of sending a subpoena to the Epstein estate on this program. Andrew Weissman is next.
Wait,
You're
well,
ready to begin treatment for chronic lymphocytic leukemia.
it's fucking a little bit heavy, man. Heavy duty news, man. Huh? Crazy, man. I don't know. Sorry if it's too loud. I'm like recording it on TikTok. Actually, if you wanna follow, find me on TikTok, Sunny Hippies, that'd be cool.
Josh? Buddy. You can't tell me what to do. Oh, okay. Okay. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you.
He's talking to like.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
What's the matter with Nick?
He's tripping or something. Josh! Mike. Josh! Hey, man. Don't hit me, please. You were deep in it, man. Full mental jacket.
We didn't think we'd get you back. Josh, Hannah was down here for weeks, a month. She dug Beth up.
Sam.
Mike.
Hey, let's just get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Josh, do you have the key for the cable car?
Yeah.
Oh, God. See that over there? That means there's a direct way out. Come on.
There's no way Josh is gonna make it up there.
Okay. If you help me up, I can go back to tell the others we're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
You bring Josh back the way we came, and we'll all meet at the lodge.
Be careful.
Yeah, you too.
Alright, let's go, you fucked up son of a bitch.
Josh, mine's 414. Like, okay. I don't know what the fucking guy. Maybe I. These others get super into this game.
Didn't
Find
have to hit me so
everything.
much, man. Yeah, I'm sorry about before, man. I thought you killed Jess. I was wrong. No. Oh! 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 I didn't want you to die.
Everything Trump does is a fucking shit show. He's like, shut down. We want to cancel benefits, but they fucking increase benefits. They want to fire federal workers, but they have to keep federal workers. They want to hide the Epstein files that are coming out. He's trying to pretend he doesn't like Putin, but he rolls the red carpet out for Putin. He's like, fuck, what the fuck, dude? He's desperately like almost like a desperately obviously trying to hide the Epstein files while giving Ghislaine Maxwell a sweetheart deal, and then hosting these fucking parties at the White House with fucking bikini bikini girls in bikinis. It's fucking so. How come in a lot of these like horror movies and stuff they don't kill you, or they sometimes they tell you, is he smiling? Oh. I have to look on the film and think he was smiling.
The bill signing at the White House took place during the commercial break. It just took minutes. Donald Trump then said to the assembled press, "I'm sure you have questions," and then got up and left quickly without taking a single question. That's how afraid Donald Trump is tonight, to be confronted with a single question about the emails released today about Jeffrey Epstein talking about The Attorney General of the United States went to the White House Situation Room today to try to convince a relatively powerless Republican member of the House of Representatives, Lauren Boebert, to change her mind about supporting the release of the Epstein files. And the Attorney General, accompanied by Donald Trump's former criminal defense lawyer, now Donald Trump's Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanchard, failed in their mission to force Lauren Boebert to change her position. If you're trying to imagine just how weak the Attorney General's presentation was in that room in her defense of Donald Trump, here's the Attorney General, unable to answer a very simple question about what she has seen in the Epstein files.
There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such
She's
thing?
been Donald Trump's lawyer for 20
Senator
years.
White House, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants, I believe, I could be wrong, correct me, Reid Hoffman, who was with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions. And the senator sitting right next to you tried to block the flight logs from being released. Yet you're grilling me on President Trump and some photograph with Epstein? Come on.
The question is, did the FBI find those photographs?
She's been his lawyer
that
for
have
20
been
years, so
discussed
she knows how
publicly
to fire
by a
back and
witness who claimed
not
Jeffrey
answer the
Epstein showed
question.
them to him? You don't know anything about that. Okay?
By the way, she was wrong about that money also to Senator Whitehouse. Joining us now is Andrew Weissman, former FBI general counsel and MSNBC legal analyst. Andrew, your reaction to what we are learning in this release of emails tonight?
Well, one of the things that I've been thinking about is what should happen next. What we've seen tonight and the documents are devastating in terms of the story that we had been told and now what we see in black and white. I think it's totally correct, as you have done, is to put it in context where Donald Trump has previously said to New York Magazine that he was aware of Jeffrey Epstein's predilections. He liked young girls. And what we're seeing now is real corroboration for what he said. I'd also like to just remind people about what a cabinet member of the Trump administration has said, Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce. He reported that he and his wife went to the Epstein townhouse, and there, right in his living room, was the massage table, and they were, I think the phrase they used was grossed out, and they left. And the reason I'm raising that is that this is not a man, Mr. Epstein, who is hiding things. This is somebody who a cabinet member was in his former position, went to his house and saw all of this. So the idea that Donald Trump did not know, when you have Jeffrey Epstein saying in writing at a time that he has no known reason to lie that he did know, is really devastating proof. But what should happen now, I think, is something you hit on with the congressman, which is, yes, there can be a congressional investigation. Ghislaine Maxwell is alive. She can be required to testify again. She can be given a grand jury subpoena. She could even be immunized to find out what she knows. And at any normal administration, a special counsel could be appointed because this Department of Justice is clearly not independent just by the mere fact of what you just said, which is that the leaders of the Justice Department were engaged in a political mission for Donald Trump just today in the Situation Room.
And they know what's in the Epstein files. The Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General, they know what's in the Epstein files. They have decided it is hugely important to Donald Trump that the Epstein files never come out.
And to that point, it is worth remembering, if you go back and look at Todd Blanchard's interview, which is now, that is public, do you know how many questions there are of her related to these documents? I think that would be zero. And that is, if you want to understand the nature of what, in my view, is the cover-up, it is that. When I saw these documents as a former prosecutor, one of the first things I said is, this is so damning of what the Department of Justice is doing here, because how could you sit there with Ghislaine Maxwell, who has been convicted of not just witnessing, but participating in Epstein's hideous crimes, and not ask her about this, of saying she's aware of what he knew. She's aware of what happened, that we see documents saying that Epstein is the person who has the goods on Donald Trump. How can you not ask about that and just instead listen to her lying and then give her a benefit because she's sitting in a camp now with, as the New York Times has reported, all sorts of privileges?
And then reportedly come back telling people that he believes her. He actually believed Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yes, I mean, look, it is truly incredible, but what it tells you is how far we are from the Biden administration, where special counsels were appointed for Joe Biden himself, for Hunter Biden. You had the idea that they understood what the role of the department is and what a conflict is. Here, you really do have people acting both in a political capacity and still acting as the personal counsel for the president. And we really should not normalize that. And it is a reason why you need to have a special counsel looking at this, because no one else is going to get at what is it that, in fact, Ghislaine Maxwell and people she spoke to and emails and documents that may exist that we don't know about are available to unravel what happened here and to explain why is the White House so afraid of releasing the rest of the documents.
We're going to later in the hour go through a line-by-line analysis of these emails today with an expert on the Epstein investigation. He's actually written a book about the Epstein investigation. But Andrew, if you can hold on, I'd like to squeeze in a commercial break, and we'll be back with more after this break with Andrew Weiss.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Sky Rizzy, feel symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks.
Hey, what's up? I'm live on TikTok.
Increased infections
About to
or
be high
lower
energy.
fight that may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like
Did I
symptoms
really
and
start?
vaccines.
I don't know that I was
Leaving
ready
to
to actually
hospitalization
start.
may occur when treated for
Oh,
Crohn's.
just go on. Well, how do I
Ask your gastroenterologist about Sky Rizzy.
I don't always make her lunch, but I do always know what she has to eat.
The Tide Boosted Test. Regular detergent can't match Tide's Boosted Clean. Test passed.
Yeah.
It's cleaner, whiter, brighter, and fresher. It's got to be Tide.
Who did?
Steve.
John, they say with Lavazza, you'll become a maestro.
Yeah, maestro of coffee.
So it has nothing to do with music.
It does.
So
Just coffee.
go live.
Shall I go again?
Please don't.
Enjoy the pleasure of a masterfully crafted coffee and feel like an Italian
How
barista
do
at
you
home.
change your description?
don't do
Full
it.
camera,
Discover Lavazza blends now.
I need that one. That is my G flat.
Play. Blink.
Sticker.
Relief. Work.
Yeah.
Play. Blink. Relief.
The only 3-in-1 extended relief formula for dry eyes.
Blink.
Slow? Yeah, I know a thing or two about that. And slow is good when it comes to a progressive disease like CKD. Jardiance is a once-daily pill proven to slow the progression of CKD and reduce the risk of kidney failure, which can lead to dialysis.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine, which can be fatal. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardiance may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired, and pain, tenderness, swelling, or redness in the genital area. Don't use if allergic to Jardiance. Stop use if you have a serious allergic reaction. Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
You could say, I like taking it slow, and with CKD, slow is the way to go. Ask your doctor about Jardiance for chronic kidney disease today.
I see you found the de-furnished feature on Homes.com.
Defurnished? Furnished.
Homes.com, the place to find a place.
Ooh, stuffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe.
What is... Wow.
Sinex? Breathe. Ah. Looks like it's fall season.
Gotta keep up with SoFi. You can earn more money on your money with SoFi Bank's highest savings APY.
Mind blown. Bank with SoFi to get up to 4.30% APY and an epic welcome bonus.
Man, how many bathroom trips are you making each day? Try Super Beta Prostate Advanced, the #1 selling formula in its category. Made with Prostafend, a triple action blend to help reduce urges to urinate. Find it at Walmart or these retailers.
Life doesn't slow down. As a mom, a wife, and a U.S. Paralympic gold medalist,
Well, this
I
is
take
tough
every
because
advantage. Restorative sleep powers my recovery.
he's going to go through some of the emails. I don't really want to see that. You know what I mean?
Every challenge, on slow
So-
and at home. When you sleep well, you show up strong for yourself and the people you love. That's why I choose a Sattva mattress. Sattva, unlock the superpower of restorative sleep.
Andrew Weissman is back with us. And Andrew, in Ghislaine Maxwell's interview with Todd Blanche, she says, talking about Donald Trump, I don't recall ever seeing him in his house. Meaning, I don't recall ever seeing Donald Trump in Jeffrey Epstein's house. And Jeffrey Epstein's own email to Ghislaine Maxwell in 2011, he talks about Donald Trump having spent hours at my house with one of the actual victims. That the victim spent hours at my house with him, meaning Trump. To which Ghislaine Maxwell says, I have been thinking about that. It is a fair interpretation of that exchange that Ghislaine Maxwell has been thinking about those hours Donald Trump spent at Jeffrey Epstein's house with that victim of Jeffrey Epstein.
So, does that in and of itself mean that she lied? No. She could have forgotten, but also the email itself doesn't say that Ghislaine Maxwell was present when that was happening. When I looked at these emails, and I then had a chance, like you, to go back over key parts of her interview, what it suggested to me was that there was extremely careful scripting of her answers between her and her counsel. I'm not saying her counsel thought that was coaching her to lie. I'm saying that this is one where he may have believed what she was saying, but it seemed really caring as opposed to misleading because it so danced around things that we now know. And to me, it highlighted it's not to blame the defense counsel and her. It's the job of Todd Blanche, the #2 in the Justice Department, to press her with better questions and to confront her with these documents. So if she had said that in the deposition, any good prosecutor would have shown that document and said, well, are you saying that you were not there? You were never there? And explain it. None of that happened. And that tells you everything about this administration. To me, that's it's not just the Epstein documents themselves. It tells you everything about the corruption that is going on between the White House and the Department of Justice in terms of the rule of law.
So with Donald Trump, you can analyze what he says, and you can analyze what he doesn't say. And some of the most interesting moments with Donald Trump are his silences. And tonight he was silent. He had a public bill signing at the White House. He had one of those opportunities to talk to the reporters, as he usually likes to do, and just tell them lies in response to their questions. But tonight, he walked away from them without taking a single question, knowing that every single question would have been about Jeffrey Epstein's emails today, released today, about Donald Trump. What does that kind of silence tell us at a moment like this in this investigation?
You know, in the law, there is a doctrine where, silence when you would normally speak is something that you obviously go to a jury and you say, well, why isn't the person explaining it? Obviously, there are situations where you have a Fifth Amendment right not to testify, but that's not the situation we're in here. Here you have the situation where he knows, in my view, that he's just going to put more fuel into this story by saying something, and if it's not carefully scripted, he's going to get himself in worse trouble, because we've already seen statements that he has made that seem completely belied by the document that we have. So saying that I just had no idea what Jeffrey Epstein was up to is something that is just contradicted by not just what we've seen today, but some of Donald Trump's own prior statements. And so, to me, that is why you're seeing this sort of silence on the part of the White House. And to be clear, the efforts to get Congress to back off. To me, it's like he's going to be silent, and he wants Congress to endorse that, so that it's not just the Justice Department, but it's also the second branch of government that is going to stonewall and cover up what is happening here.
Andrew Weissman, thank you very much for joining us tonight on this important story.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Coming up, Barry Levine has actually written the book on Jeffrey Epstein, the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, and knows more detail of that investigation.
Hey, what's up? Hi, Deborah. Deborah Lynn.
He'll give us his word-for-word analysis of the Epstein emails released today. That's next.
Pretty wild. What do you think of this news? You like it? Like, it's nothing like it. Nothing to like. But I keep saying I'm going to turn it off and play this video game, but the news is just so compelling, with compelling news. You can now customize the badge and stickers for your fan club. Introducing a new superfan. Learn what it is. Hello, Whiteheart. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Moot. Welcome, Moot. His badge name. Got our badge name. Yo, Moot, what's up, what's up? Draw and guess, lightning Q&A, playbook. Playbooks, guess my doodle, let's talk. I don't know how to just say, like, make, say that I want to make a message. Oh, backgrounds, lock, check requirements, monetization, get more viewers, 30 minutes, 3 separate days, stickers. Can you get a sticker where you could, like, type in it? It's like, welcome to my fan club. Mia, what up, girl? Hey, nice to see you. Mia, hi, Mia. Mia, Mia, Mia. Hi, Mia. What's up, Max? good, Max? Content. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Mirror, flip, live gifts. What's good? What's good? Ooh, viewers are rolling in. I got 1, 2, 3, ABC. Rose, rose, rose. I don't know how you do it. I don't know where you've been. I don't know how you do it. Total views 8. Damn, it's going, it's going. We got 8. We got 8. 8 is great. 8 is great. 8 is great. 8 is great. We got 8. 8. 8 is great. We got 8. 8. 8 is great. We got 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. You see? What up, our goodness? What up, our goodness? Yeah, we'll get ready for some news. We'll put some news back on, okay? Yo, Calamiro! What up, what up? Calamiro! Calamiro! Got it, got it. Boom, say hi. Calamiros.
Joining us now from the expert perspective
Kaylee.
on the Epstein emails released today is Barry
Hi, Kaylee,
Levine,
my
the
love.
author of The Spider, Inside the Criminal Web of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Let's go. Let's watch this.
And Barry,
Ready?
I just want you to describe for us the surrounding context of Jeffrey Epstein's life and condition in, say, April of 2011, when he wrote this email to Ghislaine Maxwell, the one that says, I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. To which Ghislaine Maxwell replies, I have been thinking about that.
Yeah, Lawrence. I mean, that's a very particular time. This was only a few weeks after Virginia Giuffre went public for the very first time in the London Sunday Mail, where she acknowledged sexual abuse by Prince Andrew and others. And this was a response of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell talking about their sex slave, who is now for the first time going public. So Jeffrey Epstein is asking, what about Donald Trump? And he's telling Ghislaine Maxwell, well, Trump spent hours with her, okay? And then she responds knowingly. Now, we know that she has denied any type of wrongdoing by Trump, but this opens up the relationship so much. It also raises the police chief. That was Michael Ryder, who was the police chief in Palm Beach, who investigated Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell back in 2004. So Epstein's wondering, when is Donald Trump's name going to surface? And this, at this particular time also, Donald Trump was moving from The Apprentice into politics. He was making a lot of the birther claims about President Obama.
When is his name going to surface? Do you mean possibly with Virginia Giuffre? Because as he's saying in the email, Trump spent several hours with that same person who was the source of the story that had just been published.
Correct.
So about Prince Andrew, but not mentioning Trump.
That's correct. So Epstein is wondering and discussing with Maxwell, when is Donald Trump's name going to surface in this?
Right. Let's go to the other one. It says, this email is to Michael Wolff, January 2019, and it reads, victim, Mar-a-Lago, and redacted. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. How do you read that?
Well, that of course has to do with the fact that Maxwell was recruiting girls from the spot
Francisco.
Mar-a-Lago. In fact, Virginia Giuffre was the first that she took back in 2000, and apparently Maxwell went back there and attempted to recruit other girls. So this is a reference to the fact that Donald Trump was finding out about this and put a stop to Maxwell continuing to recruit girls out of his spa.
And the asked to resign, that's about the club membership?
That's about the club membership. However, we know through investigative research that Jeffrey Epstein stayed on the Mar-a-Lago membership logs well after his first slap on the wrist conviction in Florida back in 2008. He was still a member after that period of time.
And of course, he knew about the girls. That's as obvious as it seems to be.
Yeah. And there's a very interesting email that Jeffrey Epstein wrote basically for his own file. He wrote the email to himself where he said, Donald Trump, very plainly said, Donald Trump knows about this. But he also pointed out that Donald Trump did not have a massage. So what we're left with
that's reassuring.
For a fact from Jeffrey Epstein that Donald Trump likely knew about his conduct, knew about the sex trafficking that was taking place. Now, of course, Donald Trump has denied that all the way up to tonight.
Yep. Barry Levine, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We'll be right back.
Well, he's got to pause, man. He's got to pause because the camera. We doing it, yo. We tick-tocking. Hi, Barbara Willems. Barbara Willems, my love. Let's go a few honeys, a few honey times. Master. The Conch Republic. Seal of the Conch Republic. Y'all's wildin'. Y'all be wildin' up in here, man. Yo, what up, what up? What up? What up? Huh? Tap go live. 11:06. Sign up. Let's go. Yes, I'm signing up for the competition. I'm officially in it. You know what? I'm going to take everything I learned from Mimi and apply it to TikTok. And everything I learned from Marty Party and Waldo and Rebsy and Kyle Beasley and Adam Mockler and Chris Norland and Jim Carrey and allowed to thank my mommy. What the fuck you talking about? Fuck you talking about? Stupid. Yep. What's up, yo? What's up, Audie? Yo. What is going on with all this? Oh, la la la. Yo, what up? What up? Let's keep this subtle flower, dude. Just to keep the subtle flower. Will we keep the subtle flower? Say hi. What's up, the beef? The beef. She's got the beef. She's got the beef in her heart. In her heart. Yo, what's good? Yo, Alvera, what's up, Alvera? La la li ba da ba da ba da giddy boo ba ba bee da do do da da boo boo boo. Why do you turn this shit off, man? Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
As Congress readies a critical vote to release those files, then the shutdown is officially over. But what about the millions of Americans facing steep health care premiums? Democrats say they've got a plan. Plus, big business gets a big dinner at the White House. We're talking money, power, politics. As the 11th hour gets underway on this Wednesday night.
Burgundy. Boom, 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 boom. Damn, cuz. What you trying to prove, boy? 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 I'm trying to prove I got the groove. Trying to prove I got the groove. Gonna boo do do da do 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 do. Trying to prove that you got the groove and you trying to prove that you got the groove in it. Trying to prove that you got the groove in and you got to prove it. What you trying to prove that you got the groove? Barbara Williams, my love. Yo, I'll run it back 1,000 times, my love. Yo, no, I'm just an online virtual friend. I'm your online virtual friend. Yeah, I'm afraid it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Oh, bro. Cry if I wanna, cry if I wanna. La 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 la. It's my party and I'll cry if I wanna, cry if I wanna. My party is Mel Gill and Sean Bukowski, Bekowski and Ismail. No for now, we got no for now. No Fernell and Don Jr. No Fernell and Don user 6671923 boy. Guess oh my god, shut the fuck up, man. No, man. and Mother Nature. Oh, we why just one bono and Flynn, and we got the bow. Hello, no, I can't even say 'cause you're just a nose. Hello, oh, Nani Ulysses, oh, Nani Ulysses. Oh, shit. Oh shit, oh shit, it really is only your listing. It really is only your listing. It really is only your listing. Where's my shit, dude? Posa and Tiki Tock, Posa and Tiki Tock, Posa and Meatman, Jimmy Jam, Jimmy Jam, Jimmy Jam. Posa and Meatman, Posa and Meatman, only lollies esti, oh lolly ulisti. Posa and Meatman, we got Posa and Meatman. Jimmy Jam Jam, Jimmy Jam Jam Jam. Jimmy did a bam did a booty. When you shut the fuck up, trying to sleep around here. God damn it. Yo, you gonna play this fucking game? Yo, you wanna see my girlfriend's breasts? For $5. I don't know, are you allowed to say that on, am I allowed to say that on TikTok? You wanna see my girlfriend's titties? Remember? Yo, dude, that wasn't even me. We was in, me and my boy was in Oakland, in Pittsburgh, and we stopped at, I don't know, we met this dude at the bar, and then we like went to his house and shit. And then he had some girl in the other room, and it was like kind of weird. Like, I don't want to say she was like a prisoner, but she was like real shy in the other room. And then she came out and was sitting on the couch next to us. And then he was like, "Hey, you want to see her titties? Hey, for $5, you could see her titties." You're like, but just the way he was saying was so rude, man. So we're like, nah, dude. We gotta go, man. It's a little weird in here, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. What happened to the, what I mean? I blocked most of the bots, and now it's good to Fishman's. don't know. I shouldn't. How come I can't find it now? What the hell? Where my little vape thingy go, man? If you knew it. Yeah, but it ain't it. Where's my play? Well, there's this vape, but where's my it could be under here. No, no. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you never want to do like hard drugs, man. Uh, it's not good, man. I've been addicted before in my life, not any time recently. It's been shit, 20 years. But 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 it's not for anybody, man. It's no way to good to live for anybody. I mean, the the I can't find my vape, dude. I'm fucking that's why I keep looking for it. Like I literally don't know, man. I had it right here. Quit fucking falling down, phone. Like what the fuck? Where the phone? Under? What? Yeah, I gotta clean up my brand new nice apartment tomorrow, man. I'll start smoking rosin only, man. Start doing rosin only because um it's clean. Yeah, rosin is clean. Other shit, you don't know. You don't know what kind of shit they're putting in there, man. There it is. Wrapped up in the blankets. I've been looking for this everywhere, this little black vape. I was looking in the wrong place. I thought it was on the floor. There's all these cords down here, man, which I've got to straighten out. They're all black. Everything's black. There's a black uh, amplifier and a black fucking pedal and black guitar chords and a fucking um, black mouse and a black fucking headset. And it's all. And I thought it fell like under the cords. So I'm like looking through the cords, like, did it fall in? Because is it under the amp? Is it under the cords? Is it under the pedal? And then finally, is it in my sheets? So I started shaking my blanket, and it was in the blanket. So there you go. There you have it. Hi, Sage, my love. Hi, Colorado kid. The Colorado kid. Hello. Said me to Sage Park Wizard. Said hi to you, my friend. Look, my cat. Mew. And mew. And mew. And Peggy. 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 Petchy and the Mew, 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 Chipper unbelievable. Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, my friend? What's going on with you? Chaparral de la Barbara, my friend. I wanna see you again. Katie, why? Katie, why? What I wanna know, what I wanna know is why. What I wanna know is why. Why? Hey, Katie, what's up, man? Oh man, and you come in all serious after. Yo, Katie, what's going on? What's going on, baby? Hi Jay. Hi Jay, how you doing, man? Yo, get ready to play this game. This game here is called Until Dawn. Very scary. Very scary. Just kidding, just kidding. Yo, yo, yo. Alright, you ready? Into the dawn. Until the dawn of time has come. Hey, what's going on? What's good? What's good? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Don't, 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 don't. Let's go, Jets. Let's go, Pens. Do I look better like that? Hey, what's up? Oh, you left me, baby. Oh, you left me, baby. You left me, baby. Katie, why? Why'd you leave me, Katie? Why'd you leave me, Katie? Why? I don't know why. But I tried and I tried to make you happy till I died. And just didn't appreciate me while I'm here. So it's time for me to go. But first I'll reply to Joe. And I'll sing this little song and lullaby.
Jess, is that you? Jesus, Jess, what the hell happened to you? How the fuck are you still alive?
Yeah.
There's something big going on tonight. Is someone really fucking with us up here?
No.
What?
It's not someone, it's something.
Jess, you had a pretty rough night. It's pretty confusing.
No. I'm telling you.
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you.
No.
Can you move?
Yeah.
Come on, Jess. Look at that. Some sort of cave in here.
It was me.
What?
I fell through that roof.
You fell this far? Jesus. Makes two of us.
What?
I fell off a goddamn fire tower down here.
You're kidding me.
Which way? Jess, come on. Come on, come on. Holy crap.
Oh, gosh. You look terrible.
It'll look worse if we stay out here. Come on.
Mike, what happened to Josh?
I got him.
God, what an awful way to go.
Not good.
What do you think we should do?
We should check the basement. Might be someone left down there. If there's anyone